Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 10th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. Here we talk about movies, TV, and general nonsense. My name is Benedict. You probably know me better as BHL. With me, as always, is my friend and co-host... Frederick, indeed.
It is wonderful to be back.
I feel like we haven't done this in a long time. It's only been 2 weeks, like every other one, but...
And it's the 10th episode. It's basically our anniversary.
Did you do anything exciting over the October break, which no one will care about?
Oh, I'm happy you asked, sir.
I'm hoping you don't actually have a long and involved story.
I did not. I stayed in Denmark, and I watched some series, and I watched a movie.
Which we will talk about.
Oh, hello.
Great
guys.
segue.
Wait. And I went bowling. Got freaking
Without
four,
me?
4 strikes.
Wow.
Yeah, hit me up, ladies.
Well, I went to Scotland.
No, I need to. What did you do, BHL?
I went to Scotland.
I don't care.
Okay. We will not talk about that in depth, or maybe we will, but not for now, because people don't come to this for my Scottish stories. So.
I know I do.
let's get into the actual show. Now, a few things about this episode that'll be a little different. We'll talk about this more later on in the announcements part right at the end. But we're thinking we might change up the show a little, not much, but just a little bit in terms of doing a topic and doing news and that kind of stuff. So if you want to know about that, stick around to the end. Also, this is the first episode where we actually have a mic stand and a somewhat decent setup, unlike me just holding the mic. So
we're so professional.
If it sounds a lot better this time, I hope it does. We'll talk more about that later. Thank you, Yana, for the mic stand. We'll get into that.
Out.
Yeah. Anyway, what we do here is first we talk about the movies and TV shows we watched this week, then we talk about the news, and then usually we talk about a topic. Excuse me, a topic at the end. I tried to rush that one; it didn't work. A topic at the end, and if you want to skip around to different things in the video or the podcast. Their time code. Yeah, people don't watch this. You meant to listen to this. It's not much to watch. Their time code's down in the description, so you can skip around as you please. Okay.
Wait,
goddamn.
I forget. Do we reveal the topic of the week?
Well, it says
the beginning.
It says it in the title. So you got to come a little close to the mic, by the way.
Wait.
This is a different setup, so we're
there. We go. What?
We're a little unprofessional. If this sounds weird, I'm sorry.
We'll fix it. I'm not really sorry, but we'll fix it.
Okay. Also, before we get into this properly, we just listened back to the previous 1 minute or so of the podcast. I know there are a few little mic bumps throughout. I'm sorry about that. We're trying out a new setup.
BHL kicked it.
So hopefully this works. Actually, having said that, I'm going to just adjust the mic a little bit so it's down here.
Wait.
First off, we talk about the stuff we watched in the past 2 weeks or so.
BHL, what did you watch?
Thank you for asking so eloquently. I watched, first of all, on Netflix, there are 2 Dave Chappelle comedy specials.
He's the guy who did like a thing with The Walking Dead on SNL, right?
I have no idea. I don't watch Walking Dead or SNL. They're both hilarious. I think it's called The Age of Spin or something, and In the Heart of Texas. Very funny, hilarious. Yeah, definitely. Well, I suggested you watch them, and you refuse, because I don't know why, but it's extremely hilarious. And if you have Netflix, there's no reason why you shouldn't watch it. I mean, it's not appropriate for all ages, but it's incredibly funny.
Sometimes it's a little bit inappropriate.
We watched It, like, the day after we recorded the pod last week.
2 weeks before, actually.
Oh, yeah, right, sorry, yeah. Oh,
Beaches, are you messing up?
It's been a long day. So a lot of people have asked for our thoughts on It, and I did a little review. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. What did you think? I mean, about it, not the review.
Well, what did I think about it? Your review, It?
The movie.
All right, okay. Segueing into something a little better. The movie, It. It was pretty good. I
quite enjoyed it.
I was a bit underwhelmed, I have to say, though.
You thought it'd be scarier.
That, and I thought it'd be like, it's quite generic. Don't even lie.
I wouldn't call it generic. I think there was some interesting stuff. Like, I do understand there were like some horror movie cliches in it, but
exactly.
I liked it a lot. I didn't see a lot of it though, because as you can testify,
yes.
I did have my hands over my eyes quite a bit of it. The highlight of the film, for me at least, was at one point there was a scene where I suspected something frightening was going to happen, so I covered my eyes because I'm that guy in the movies, and a loud noise happened, and everyone kind of screamed, and I whispered to you, "What's happening?" And you said back, Pennywise is in a fridge,
Yeah.
which is the least frightening thing I could possibly
Pennywise is in
imagine.
a fridge.
And so I opened my eyes, and there it was, and it was not terrifying at all.
It was Pennywise in a fridge. Yeah, and the clown was the least scary.
Yeah,
part.
exactly. I said that in my review. Pennywise is definitely my least, not my least. He's a great part of the movie, but
My least scary part.
he's definitely not the scariest part of that film for me. In fact, those were the scenes where I could just watch it like open-eyed most. Like after I got over the shock of Pennywise in a fridge, I could watch that scene perfectly.
Pennywise in a fridge is really scary.
Like, you know how there's a part where one of the kids sees him in some grass and he's like waving a bloody arm. That was hilarious. I laughed out loud.
That was pretty good.
I don't know if he was meant to be scary all the time, but like he was never. When he came out of the projector, it's like a big, like barking
that was
dog.
scary.
That was pretty creepy, but
The thing, I think the biggest jump scare for
you
me.
gotta move closer to the mic, man.
The biggest jump scare for me, right? Oh, spoilers for it, right? Where Beverly
Kimberly.
kills her dad, right? And then turns around and
Did we say spoilers?
I just did.
Okay, spoilers. Sorry. It's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see it, you've seen it by now.
And she turns around and Pennywise is just standing there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I knew that was coming because that's in one of the trailers. So, I put together the scenery and all that, so I was like, okay.
Oh, you did a real detective.
Yeah,
work
I did
there.
some
You're like,
analysis.
oh, trailer, movie, dad, Beverly. And then also, with what's his name, Bill. When he walks into George's room, there's a shadow. He goes out, and then zombie Georgie runs by quickly, like.
Oh yeah, yeah. The jump scares were I hate jump scares in horror movies, but I really I love the stuff that I don't know. It was just a very interesting movie, like the opening with Georgie and Pennywise. That was terrifying.
That was so
it wasn't terrifying, but it was just
out there.
It was
just like
cool to.
bit his arm off. Ah, my arm! And then
That's a good Georgie impression.
thank you.
I also appreciate that they didn't kind of hold back with that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like they showed his arm getting chomped off, which is
They
great.
shouldn't have held back with the end.
All right. All right, moving on. Also, I thought the other kids' fears, especially that painting woman,
Yeah,
were
that
easily scarier than Pennywise. And that painting woman
Definitely.
actually kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And like the scene where the headless guy comes down the stairs, amazing. That's great.
Mhm.
So overall, very good horror film. And even if you're not a horror movie fan, it's also just a good, with good characters, good story about teenagers
even
growing
when you're
up.
just watching the kids.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite parts. So, highly recommend. We spent way too long on. I forgot to take this out. So there was a documentary coming out which I was very excited for on HBO called Spielberg about the life of Steven Spielberg. I started watching it. I watched like 20 minutes. Very good. I just haven't finished it yet.
So it is out.
Yes, it's out and it's very interesting. I've gotten to the part where he's made Jaws.
It's very interesting. That's why I've watched 20 minutes.
Yeah, so I will come back to it definitely. It's especially for someone who wants to get into film. That's a very interesting kind of thing. Also, can you not scratch your
My
quasi beard while we're doing this?
My massive beard.
I watched Raging Bull with Papa Hudson,
Is that with
the dirty grandpa guy, as you call him so fondly.
I thought it was the freaking Joe Pesci guy.
He is. He's also in it. But the main character is Dirty Grandpa.
That's Dirty Grandpa.
Is respected actor Robert De Niro.
As respected actor.
Dirty Grandpa. It's from the 80s by Martin Scorsese. It is a very good movie. It's
Is
just
it action? Or
No. It's about a boxer who then he's kind of a dickhead, and it's basically just a character study of him. Spoilers for Raging Bull, by the way, because I feel like I'm just gonna spoil something. But it's a very
spoiler for all of these movies and shows.
well, let's not say that.
Okay.
But generally, yeah. If you hear us talk about the thing, we might accidentally spoil it, so just be careful. But we'll try not to. But if we say specifically, then yeah. Anyway, too long of a tangent. It's very well made, and the performances are fantastic, especially Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro.
I love Joe Pesci.
He's great.
I've
Have you
seen him
seen
in
My
one
Cousin
thing.
Vinny?
Nope.
My Cousin Vinny is one of my favorite movies. I think we might talk about that today. I don't know. But the thing is, though, with these kinds of movies, especially like ones I watch with my dad a lot, they are important to watch, especially for like someone who wants to do film. Like, you can't really go to film school and be like, oh no, I've never seen Raging Bull. So like that's why, I want to get around to all the classics.
All the classics.
Yeah, but they're not. I don't necessarily enjoy I'm glad I watched them, and I guess I do enjoy watching them. But like, you don't. It's not the same way like I watch like Baby Driver or Harry Potter or something like that. Like I wouldn't watch it for my own enjoyment. It's just like
It's just something you kind of have to do.
Yeah, but I really liked it though. It's very fascinating to watch this performance and this character kind of like deteriorate and then he's a horrible person. But like again, like there's no one to root for in this film. Like they're all pretty.
Dickheads?
Yeah, they're all pretty awful.
How does it end?
It ends where he loses a match because he's like beating his wife. No, he's not. Well, he does at one point.
He loses the match to his wife.
Yeah.
She whips out the frying pan.
He's terrible to his wife, and then he loses a match. But then he gets really fat. Like Robert De Niro put on a ton of weight, and then he gets really fat at the end. And then he tries to be a stand-up comedian, and then it ends. Which it's very, very good.
Is interesting.
It's an incredible character study. So I'm just saying, I don't think I'd watch it again, but I'm very happy I watched it, and I would recommend it. It's a very interesting film. I started on the recommendation of Tom Moore, I think his name was.
Tom Moore?
The guy who
Does he want more or less?
He definitely wants more. The guy who made a very an 8-minute video the other week about how I should watch the DC TV shows. That gave me a little metaphorical kick in the ass to get back to that kind of stuff. Because I realized, hey, I actually really enjoyed Arrow of what I watched it. So I started watching Arrow again. Yeah, I've seen the first 6 episodes. I really enjoy it. It's actually really great. It's a lot
Arrow
of fun.
It seems very
It's a little generic.
Ant-Man-ish.
In
the fact that you forget about it instantly.
It's a little bit generic, but it's a lot of fun. Stephen Amell's great. The action is surprisingly actually really good. It's only, I'd say, like the story is the only part where like it's good, but it's a little like you've seen it before.
Hasn't he like survived in the woods for a long time, and then he comes
on an
back?
island? Yeah, and it's basically the Batman story, but like a little, but he shoots arrows.
But Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Hello guys.
But I feel like I made it sound like I don't like it. I really, really enjoy it, and I love the characters, especially Diggle. He's a cool guy.
Diggle?
Yeah, his
doesn't
bodyguard.
sound like a cool guy.
He's incredibly cool. Action, the main character. Yeah, it's just really enjoyable. It gets way crazier, like with like superpowers and stuff. But as for season 1 so far, it's quite grounded, and I'm really loving it. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. The Flash season 4 started, which I started watching the first 2 episodes. I haven't seen the 3rd episode, even though it's out, and it's not as great as season 3.
Didn't you get something spoiled?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that, but spoilers for Arrow, I guess. But in the 2nd episode of The Flash, him and also spoilers for The Flash, him and his fiancée Iris are at marriage counseling because he come back from the dead or something, and now he doesn't have any time for her.
He's kind of a dickhead.
Well, no, he's good, but he's a little different. And so while they're sitting there, while they're waiting for the counselor, the Flash picks up a newspaper that says like, Oliver Queen becomes the mayor of Starling City, and also he's revealed that he's the Green Arrow. It's like, well okay, great.
Now no point in watching Green Arrow.
Well, yeah, it's like, it's just a little annoying, but I guess they cross over. I guess it's my fault for not staying up to date. But The Flash so far, it's good. It's fun because I like these characters.
Just say that very, very hesitantly.
But I'm not enjoying it as much. So the first episode, he comes back from, spoilers again. He comes back from he went into another dimension at the end of season 3, and now he's back. And it's like
How
the
did
most.
He get back? Did he run?
They made like a speed cannon or something.
Oh
it's
my
the most
God.
predictable thing for the first episode, where it's like, spoilers for Kingsman 2. We just saw this exact same thing in Kingsman 2, and like a heap of other stuff that I can't think of right now. It's just Kingsman 2 I saw the most recently, where someone comes back from the dead, but then they're a little crazy or weird, and then
they need something from the past to reawaken them.
Yeah, and then he kidnaps his girlfriend, and then he comes back to normal himself. And it's like, it's such a waste of like a first episode, I feel. Also, the villain, he's called the Thinker so far. He looks kind of like a Sky High villain. Have you seen Sky High?
No.
Okay, well, if you've seen Sky High, you know what I mean. I'm hopeful it picks up, but so far I'm not super impressed. I'm sorry to say.
I forgot to put this on here. Let me see.
Sure, yeah.
I watched Narcos.
No, it's on there.
Is it on there?
Yeah, we'll get to it. Well, I just speed through these. I watched 22 Jump Street for like the 3rd time. Love it. Great comedy. Very funny still. I love those 2 movies. I think it's a shame we're never going to see a 3rd one, but probably. But yeah, great.
Why wouldn't they make a 3rd one?
Because everyone's kind of moved on.
Yeah. Touche.
And then speaking of comedy buddy cop movies, I watched Bad Boys for the first time.
I love Bad Boys.
Bad Boys is actually pretty great. It started off and I was like, this is so dumb, but I really enjoyed it. I said on Twitter, it's a great mix of stupid and fun. Like I don't think it's it's a good movie. A lot of people say the second one's better, which I'm hoping to get to soon. But it's just, there's a lot of dumb stuff in it, and there's a lot of like kind of dumb comedy that, I still thought it was kind of like pretty funny sometimes, especially Will Smith. He's very funny. The action's way over the top, but it's it's a lot of fun. Like they have great chemistry. The story is kind of fun. How they switch identity. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Again, it's not a masterpiece or anything, but
where are the Oscars?
but it was a lot of fun. So if you have some downtime, yeah, because I was just sitting there like on Sunday and I was like, I'm quite bored. Like I want to watch something. So I go on HBO and the first thing I see is Bad Boys. I'm like, why not? Why not give it a try?
Bad Boys is on HBO.
Yeah, and Bad Boys 2.
It's also on Netflix.
Oh really? Oh god. Why do I have HBO? Then just a little wrap up of different shows, just very quickly. The Office. I finally finished The Office. Won't talk about it in depth because we talk about it every week, but I cried my eyes out in the finale. Excellent finale.
That is
spoilers for The Office.
Not a good thing to do.
Season 9.
Jim is moving out of his paper office. Wow.
How do you?
That's horrible.
Spoilers for The Office. How do you know that happened?
You told me.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Well, no, you just told me it ended. I guess. Does he move out?
Yeah, he starts a sports company.
A sports company.
It's really cool.
That sounds amazing.
Season 9 was amazing, or not amazing.
Is it in season
really
9 where he becomes hole puncher Jim?
That's in season 2 or something. I showed Freddie 3 hole punch Jim. I said I should be this for Halloween, and Freddie did not approve because for some reason you hate The Office.
The Office is a waste of time.
Because you've never seen it.
A waste of my time and some dumbass jokes.
They're great.
I'm Dwight because I got the name tag Dwight.
I'm not even sure if that actually happens. I might have made that up. Also, I continued to watch Archer, which was great. I'm almost done with season 8. Spoilers for Archer. It does take a little bit of a.
I never admired your professionalism anymore.
They switch up the genre like almost every season now. So season 5 they became cocaine dealers, and then season 7 it's like a detective mystery, and that's a lot of fun. But then with season 8. Spoilers, at the end of season 7, Archer gets shot and he goes into a coma. And then season 8 is like in his coma, he dreams of like being this 1920s detective kind of thing.
For
like 8 episodes, yeah, that's the whole season.
Jesus.
And it's a lot of fun, like it's a great premise, and I really, really enjoy how they do different genres every time so it doesn't get old. Like, I think that's great. But the thing is, it's not as funny. And that's not when it wants to be funny, it's very funny, but it's intentionally not as fun. Like it's a little bit more serious. Like they just have less jokes, and I just prefer it when it's like crazy balls to the wall. Like it gets quite dark within the first episode, so it still has a lot of. It's obviously still comedy, but it's just there's a little less jokes all the time now, and I kind of prefer it when they're just in the normal day.
Are there like celebrity cameos?
Yeah,
quote unquote.
Like every episode, there's like a celebrity.
Isn't Conan O'Brien in one of the episodes?
Yeah, almost definitely.
Because they did like that on his show, but I'm not sure if that was just like a special thing.
No, that was just for his show. That's a great thing, by the way.
I like that.
And then you watched Narcos.
Narcos is so amazing. Are you gonna watch Narcos?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so I won't do any big spoilers.
Please don't.
It's just like the way that I'm not sure what the actor who plays Pablo, what his name is, like, but like he's just the top villain. Like he's up there with
top nice.
Top nice, as a certain papa would say. But he's up there with like Gus, I'd say. Like,
oh really?
Really, really good, right? And the way he acts around his family, like, if you didn't know all the shit he did, right, you'd think he's just like really loving kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
But then you see him like switch character instantly. You see like,
well, it sounds kind of like
bomb
Heisenberg.
this hospital or something like that, right?
It sounds a bit like Walter White. How like he kind of switches on a dime.
Yeah, right.
Which is cool. I'd like to see that.
And like, it's difficult to follow the thing because it's in Spanish, like 80% of it, right?
Yeah, I've heard. That's the one thing I've heard that people are like, I wish I didn't have to read so much.
It's still cool because it like immerses you, one would say, right?
Very nice. And, also, you watched The Conjuring.
Oh yeah, that's like, it's okay. It's I liked it. Right? It's scary enough, but it wasn't what.
But I'm a real man, so nothing scares me.
So no big boys, no big girls don't cry. Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that was okay. Like I jumped quite a few times, some good jump scares, but otherwise, very generic horror movie, I think.
Well,
and some of the acting was horrible.
That's a kind of a horror movie trope. I don't know. I haven't. You seen A Friend I Like More Than You gave me a copy of it, and I have yet to. Like, he gave me all the Conjuring movies and all the Insidious movies. And
how did he give you the movies?
Legally, very legally. And I mean that 100% if someone is listening to this. Yeah. So I'm never gonna watch them probably. Although I might watch them with him on Halloween when I'm not with you. Okay, now let's get into the news. Like, we're quite far in, but let's get into the news now. First of all, did you see the new Mutants trailer?
With Macy?
Yes.
I did. It looks
Pretty good?
pretty good, but I thought it was going to be more X-Men related, but it seems like it's
just a horror movie.
It's just a horror movie.
Well, that's the thing. I would not be remotely interested in this if it was not if that trailer just came out and be like, okay, that looks like a generic horror movie, fine. But
Yeah.
because it's X-Men, I'm probably gonna see it. Yeah, it just looks a little bit like a generic horror movie. I heard on the Weekly Planet they were talking about it, and I think Mason said he thought it was gonna be like a classic horror movie kind of situation where like a monster chasing them, but then it turns out all the people who are being chased are X-Men, and then they kind of turn on the monster. That sounds like a fun premise, but this just seems like a haunted asylum movie, really.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like all of these, they're kids, right?
Yeah.
Have powers, but they're kind of like not in control of their powers, and that's why.
Yeah, and that seems a little. It
seems
seemed a
weird.
little Fantastic Four to 2015 to me, but not nearly as bad. But just like, I don't know. It also had like the faces coming out of the wall thing, which is quite generic. I don't know,
But
it looks good though.
I'm interested to see how they're going to turn an X-Men movie into.
Yeah,
a
exactly.
horror movie.
I'm
How's that gonna
very
work?
excited to see like different genres in the superhero world. I just wish it was more like
I want to see an Iron Man western.
That'd actually be pretty cool. So I will support this, and I hope it's good, like Logan and Deadpool. Gambit, we're gonna have to speed through a little bit of this because we also have a topic. Gambit got a release date of February in 2019. This movie is somehow
Gambit's
happening.
the cardi throwy guy, right?
You asked that last week, and he is still the cardi throwing guy.
Okay, very good.
I'm so surprised this movie's happening, but it is, and Daniel Craig's apparently going to be the villain. Channing Tatum's going to be the main guy.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
I remember now.
So, sure. If they said it's because of Logan that they're going to do it, because like and Deadpool, those movies did well. So I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit different.
Gonna have an R rating?
Maybe, yeah.
That'd
So
be cool.
great. I'm actually quite excited for this. Let's see. Okay, now we have a little bit of a. I'm gonna put up a potential spoiler alert for Avengers 3 and 4. So if you don't want to know anything
3 and
about
4.
those, because this might come into play in 3. I'm just covering my bases here.
Oh,
Man.
okay.
So if you want to go into those knowing nothing, again, this is not anything confirmed, but just skip ahead to the next thing, because these are two pieces of news that might be a little bit spoilery. So, okay, now that should be enough time to skip. So, in Avengers 4, there's been a call for extras for a funeral scene, which means, I mean, people are already saying that like an Avenger's gonna, obviously someone's gonna die in this. So
Who do you think's gonna die?
I'm guessing. Well, we'll talk about that in a second because there's another piece of news that hints towards it.
Okay.
But maybe it's not gonna be anything major because if you won't because you you won't recall. But I recall for Captain America: Civil War there was also a funeral scene and people were like, oh, who's gonna die? And it turned out, spoilers for Civil War, it was Peggy Carter, his 97-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nothing, but I mean it was something, but it wasn't the main Avenger. So this though I think is definitely going to be main Avenger, and people are saying it might be Iron Man, not just because of all the other obvious reasons. I actually have a video who will die in Avengers 4 or 3, so you can check that out if you want more in-depth thoughts on that. But Ty Simpkins is apparently going to come back.
Who's Ty Simpkins?
He was the little Jurassic World kid from Iron Man 3.
What's he gonna come? Iron Boy.
Yeah. So people are saying maybe that's to do with the funeral, because maybe if Tony Stark dies, he would be at the funeral. I don't know. I'd be curious to see him again.
I don't want to have Iron Man die.
Well,
Just kill Captain America.
no.
He's a bit of a douchebag, isn't he? He's way too good.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it's definitely going to be Iron Man, or it's going to be one of the main Avengers. And I think Iron Man is a good one, because, like, not a good one, but, I think he has a good chance of dying. So, we shall see.
Wait, so you think he's gonna die in the end of the third one?
Maybe, yeah.
Because the
Because
third
these
one
are
and
kind
the
of shooting
fourth,
back to back. So
third
maybe
one and fourth one, they're like
they're connected, yeah.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah. So, the Han Solo movie coming out next year has officially gotten a title, Solo. Very good.
That sounds like your Friday nights.
Wow. Sick burn. What do you think of
Solo.
that? I mean,
That's
look,
dumb. Why
There-
not call it Han?
there's not much freedom they have here. They can call it Han, they can call it Solo, they can call it Han Solo.
Or they call it the HS.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. This movie seems like such a... I would be surprised if this is good. Because at first it had the 22 Jump Street and Lego Movie guys. and then they got kicked off because they were being too creative. Apparently, Alden Ehrenreich, the main guy who's playing Han Solo, needed acting lessons, even though he was really good in Hail Caesar, so I don't know what's up with that.
Who did he play in Hail Caesar?
He was the... have you seen it?
No.
Okay, then why would you ask?
I saw like the first 10
He was
minutes
like
and
a
I
cowboy
popped out.
guy. He was one of the best parts. And Ron Howard is a good director, but he seems just like the safest... He'll just make the safest, blandest movie. Like, at least with Lord and Miller, even if like hardcore Star Wars fans like, this is too much jokey or whatever, at least it'd be different. You know, I'd love to see something different, not just the same kind of formulaic thing. So, I don't know. I hope it's good, but I have my doubts now. Freddie is taking a chip break. Please enjoy that. I'll have to edit that out.
Oh gosh.
So, did you see the trailer for I, Tonya? I'm going to wait until you finish chewing those chips. This is so distracting. Did you see the trailer for I, Tonya?
I did not. What is that about?
It's it was a 53-second thing with it's starring Margot Robbie
Oh, then I'm gonna go see
as
it.
Tonya Harding, the real life ice skater champion who then got caught up in a murder case, I think. I don't know. I looked at briefly at Wikipedia and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. It's being produced by her husband, I think. It looks actually pretty good. It's like her Oscar kind of role.
Okay. Wait, her name was
Tonya Harding. Yeah.
Oh,
I think Harding or something. So, yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. That's all I can say. There's gonna be a Deathstroke movie with
who's Deathstroke?
He's the guy who fights Batman, who has like half orange, half black. He's a very cool villain. He's gonna be played by.
Trust me, he's pretty cool, guys.
He's gonna be played by Joe Manganiello.
Oh, I love the Manganiello.
Do you know who that is actually?
I do. Yeah, he was
Okay.
in What to Expect. What you expect.
Oh yeah, he was. More
And
famous
Magic
for
Mike.
Magic Mike, I believe. Yes.
I watched XXL,
We've been over this multiple times.
and I loved you, Joe.
So it's gonna be directed by the guy who directed The Raid, which is an amazing action movie apparently, which I really, really want to see. So that all sounds pretty good. Quite excited about that.
good.
I don't know. I don't get why they're doing so many like villain movies, but hey, maybe they can make it work. So that'd be cool. This is a piece of non-news, but I just included it because I thought it was interesting. Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander got married in secret.
In secret.
Yeah, well, kind of in secret. They tried to like keep it low key. You know Alicia Vikander? She won an Oscar last year for Room, I think. I get her and Brie Larson mixed up all the time. So
That's
but-
not a compliment.
But she's the new Tomb Raider girl.
Ah.
Which
Well, good for you, Fassbender.
now that I think about it, Fassbender was in Assassin's Creed, and she's in. It's going to be terrible video game movie buddies.
Yes.
I don't know if Tomb Raider's going to be terrible. We talked about it last week, but yeah, I mean, good for them. Yeah, I just brought this up because I thought it was interesting. There's nothing really to say. Good for them. James Mangold, the director of Logan, is writing an X-23 movie starring.
Is it going to be the same?
Yeah, starring Daphne Keane.
Daphne
So-
Keane. She must be keen on doing this.
God damn it. So, yeah, that's great. I don't know how they're gonna do it because in this world, like, all the mutants are dead, except for, like, the little band of misfits that ran away at the last one. Spoilers, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, sure, if you can,
I'm looking forward to that.
that'd be good. I mean, he made a
I don't know if she
excellent
can carry
movie.
her own movie.
Yeah, she didn't do a lot. She was a great actor, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe they utilized her, like, in the right way where she was kind of silent for a lot of it, and then she
Yeah, that
did
won't
a-
work.
Yeah, but although she did give that little speech at the end, so
That'll.
I could have given that speech. Yeah, that sounds very good. Now this piece of news I included just for
This
you.
seems-
Ryan Potter has been cast as Beast Boy,
Boy.
your favorite character of all time.
Who the hell is Beast Boy?
He can turn into
A
different
beast?
animals.
Oh my god.
He's green. He's part of the Teen Titans. So this is gonna be the same show that Brenton Thwaites is on.
Oh, as Nightwing?
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm very excited.
So Ryan Potter, I don't think he's been in. The only thing he's been in that I think you'd know is he was the voice of the main guy in Big Hero 6. Have you seen Big Hero 6?
No.
It's very good, and
I wanna
he's
watch
pretty
it.
good. So that's all fine. Again, I am indifferent to a Teen Titans TV show, but maybe it'll be good.
If it's got Thwaites in it,
It
of
has to
course
be.
it's gonna be.
It's gonna be
great.
Thwaites.
Of course it's gonna be Thwaites.
I would much rather see a Teen Titans movie because I like to see something with more production value. Although if you're gonna do something on TV, Teen Titans is probably a decent one, like Arrow and that kind of thing. So, next thing, Dora the Explorer movie is coming in 2019 from Michael Bay.
Wait.
He's producing it.
How's this gonna turn out? You showed me a meme where it's like...
No, you showed me a meme, and I told you, oh, that's really happening.
Oh. All right. Well, anyways, is it gonna be like that where it's basically filmed in real-time reality, but then Dora's gonna be
No.
animated? Okay, good.
That was just a meme, dude.
I take memes too seriously, guys.
Also, I just want to say, Teen Movie Geek on Twitter, who is delightful on Twitter, said that Brenton Thwaites should be cast as Diego. Do you disagree?
I do not.
So, do you want to see a Dora the Explorer movie?
I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say that.
Do you want to see a Michael Bay Dora the Explorer movie?
I'm pretend like you just said that, and yes, I do.
I don't know. I mean, he's producing it, he's not directing, but the movies he produces are quite Michael Bay-ish. Like, he produced the new Ninja Turtles.
You know what he produced?
A Son. No, go on, I don't know.
No, Black Sails.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
some of it, yeah.
very dumb.
Like, he wasn't executive, but he was...
He just showed up to the office one day and he slapped his name on it.
He gave him some money.
Well, I mean, that's what a producer does. So, sure, whatever. I mean, I'm curious to see just the trailer for it, to see what happens. Let's see. Wonder Woman has started an Oscar campaign. So basically they send out to, like, Oscar voters, hey, check out Wonder Woman, because it's pretty good. That's the official message. Do you think Wonder Woman should be nominated for Best Picture? Keeping in mind the answer is no.
Yes. No, why?
Definitely not. Listen.
It's a good movie.
Movies are subjective, obviously, but it's not Best Picture worthy. Remotely. Like, it's a very good, fun comic book movie. It's very important for women in the movie industry, but it's not an amazing film. Like, in my opinion, it is certainly not. Like, if you put it up against The Revenant and I'm just trying to think of recent nominees, Spotlight and La La Land and Moonlight, it's nowhere near something like Moonlight, you know? Like, that's insane.
You think Baby Driver's gonna get nominated?
I was gonna say, if Wonder Woman gets nominated for Best Picture and Baby Driver doesn't, I would be insulted.
Also, you need to say, I don't know, though, in the end, so all the angry feminists doesn't come after you.
Yeah, I don't know, though.
Okay.
Wonder Woman,
Yeah, who
it
am I
could
to
be,
say?
though.
Who am I to say?
I do that in my videos a lot. I'm like, it's just my opinion, though. I don't know. People say it. But, like, if Wonder Woman gets nominated and Logan doesn't, or Get Out doesn't, that's insane, you know?
Yeah.
Again, it's a very fun movie.
Get Out needs to get animated.
An animated Get Out. I'd watch that.
That'd be horrible.
But, again, Wonder Woman, very fun film. It is not a masterpiece. Like, the action is fun, but it's not, like, brilliantly done or anything, you know? Like, people are saying also, Patty Jenkins for Best Director. She did a very good job, and she's now, like, the highest paid female director of all time. She's, like, leading the way for other female directors, and that's great. But the movie isn't, like, it's not like Damien Chazelle and Whiplash or La La Land, you know? It's not like, oh, that's a Patty Jenkins movie, you know? You
don't give him the Patty Jenkins
seal of approval.
Stamp.
Like, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a very well-directed movie. It's not, like, the best directed film of the... Anyway, this is getting too angry. Again,
You're way too angry against Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman.
I really like Wonder Woman, and I really like what Patty Jenkins did with it, but it is... I do not think...
you, Patty.
I do not think it is Oscar-worthy. That's my opinion. Let me know your opinion down below. This is a conversation. The Philip DeFranco Show.
I think...
that it should win all the Oscars.
I think Patty did a wonderful job.
See, this is why we have this dynamic.
Don't listen to this goon. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't respect women.
God damn it.
I want to die.
Terminator 6 starts shooting in... What does it say? March? March, yeah.
Wait, what is that month?
March. This is not news, but the only reason I brought this up is to mention that the director of this film, Tim Miller, looks exactly like your dad. I'll show you a picture afterwards, but he looks very similar to Papa Freddy. Just saying. I mean, Terminator 6 is probably going to be whatever. I mean, well, it's got a good director, but the last three actually have been not great, or some have been horrible. And this has Arnold coming back for some reason, Sarah Connor coming back. Oh my god.
I mean, not in real life.
Not Schwarzenegger the actor. You mean the Terminator character?
I mean, I wouldn't mind if the actor died.
That guy who commented that we should kill ourselves for insulting Arnold's gonna come back.
He's gonna come back.
Yeah. Oh, but he commented in the last one where he's like, "Oh, thanks for mentioning me, but I wasn't joking." So I don't know if he's still pursuing the meme. I don't know. Anyway, Arnold should not die. That's the point here.
I think he should.
Damn it.
That's steroid-written.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, Arnold. I don't mean it. Or do I?
So, yeah, Sarah Connor's coming back, which is exciting. Yeah. But the director is the most exciting thing about that. The rest is just, why? Why are you doing another? Just give it a rest for a while, I'd say. The Predator new movie has a motion poster, which is fine.
Also starring Arnold.
It's not starring Arnold.
Damn it.
The new one is starring, it has Key from Key and Peele, I think. I don't want to get your hopes up, but...
Key from The Lock?
Oh my god, so dumb. So dumb. But it's got a bunch of... it's got such a great cast. I can't remember who... It's got one of the guys from Moonlight. It's got a great cast. But it's the main reason I'm excited is it's directed by Shane Black, who is one of my favorite directors and writers.
Shane White?
Yeah.
I think I made that joke last week.
You did. He Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, Iron Man 3. He wrote Lethal Weapon, which I haven't seen, but I've seen the others and I love them. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited. Even though I haven't seen Predator, I will before this movie comes out. But anything Shane Black does in the future, I'm excited for. And the motion poster was just like some lightning, and then it's in the shape of the Predator. It's not much. The trailer should come out soonish. So this is just a rumor, but Ayaza Gonzalez, I think that's how you say it. She is.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah. Actually, up on my wall over there, she is.
She's. Whoa!
Darling from Baby Driver. Also, I just want people to know I have a Baby Driver poster. I don't just have a picture of Ayaza Gonzalez on my wall.
It's just her eyes.
That would be amazing. I had not thought of that.
As Catwoman.
I had not thought of that, and that sounds incredible. She's great in Baby Driver. I want to see everyone in Baby Driver going to do other things, so...
I can see that happening, actually.
That would be great. I'd love to see that, so I hope that pans out. There was a new Punisher trailer, which neither of us watched because I'm avoiding this to go in fresh. But we finally got
the previous Punisher trailer.
Yeah.
You say there's a whole new one.
Yeah. And we finally got a release date of November 17th, 2017, which is interesting because that is the day Justice League comes out. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, Marvel and DC almost did this before with Captain America Civil War and Batman v Superman, where they were both coming out May 6th, and then DC backed down and went back to March, and they made less money as a result. Not as a result of that, but just in general. So, do you think people are going to be like, oh, Justice League is out, but I want to stay home and watch The Punisher?
No.
Well, yeah, I don't. I think people are saying, like, oh, this is the competition of the year, and, like, one of them's going to fail. I think it's people go see Justice League on Friday, and then on the weekend, they watch The Punisher.
And then they're going to come back with their Netflix open and sit in their bed and watch some Punisher.
Yeah, it's not like you can only have one. That's the point of having a TV show. But I'm incredibly excited, so I hope it comes out soon. I thought you were just doing a nay-nay, but you were just reaching out.
I was doing a nay-nay.
I hope not. And finally, there was a new Black Panther trailer, which I was going to not watch because I want to go in fresh, but then I came down to pressure.
Yeah. Then you caved.
So, it looks amazing. You saw it, right?
I did.
Good.
I didn't pay much attention to it, honestly. I'm not that
excited.
excited.
In the background.
I'm not that excited for Black Panther. It's gonna be
I am
good.
super excited for it. Although this trailer looks great. Music's great, visual effects are great, all that. But I do, and everyone's brought this up already, but I do kind of worry how it looks a little Marvel Phase 1-ish, where... You know, Marvel Phase 1, not all of them, but a lot of those movies are like, it's the hero fights a slightly different version of themselves. Like, Iron Man fights Ironmonger, the Hulk fights the Abomination, and here Black Panther fights...
Venom fights Spider-Man.
That's not a... Anyway. And here Black Panther fights a slightly, like, different version of Black Panther. And it's like, I thought we were kind of past this. You know, now we're where... Like, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm drawing a blank here. Like, the Guardians of the Galaxy fight... a planet, you know, like, so, yeah, but the rest of it looks fantastic, so I'm excited. Chadwick Boseman, I'm really messing up this week. Chadwick Boseman is still great, the cast looks great, Martin Freeman's in it.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Someone made the comment...
Who does he play again?
He's like,
he's some pasty white dude.
Someone made the comment that he and Andy Serkis are the only white people in the movie, and they were Gollum and Bilbo. So, crossover question mark. Crossover exclamation point. Yeah, people are also saying, like, wondering if this will do well because this is the first. I might be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but I think this is like the first mainstream giant blockbuster, big budget, huge thing that has basically like an entire like black cast. So, do you think that's gonna like hurt it at the box office? Because people are
black.
Well, people are saying like, why'd you say that with such distaste? Are you distaste for the movie or distaste for people who won't see it because they're black?
Distaste for people who won't go see it.
Okay, why'd you hesitate?
Because I'm Abraham Lincoln.
Right, of course.
Or someone, a teacher would say, he was a renowned racist.
Oh my god, a history teacher's an idiot. I shouldn't say that in case he listens. He will not listen to this.
No.
Anyway.
He'd get
2 minutes in and then he'd just quit. Apparently the Chinese, and I don't want to say this for sure because maybe this will sound horribly like painting with a broad brush, but apparently the Chinese box office does not take well to like African American leads in movies. That's just what I don't know if that's true, but
I hope it doesn't alter anything.
Yeah, you would hope so, but I mean, if it does though, people are saying this is kind of like a Wonder Woman-ish type situation where that was like, can a movie led by a female lead do well?
But there's a bunch of movies led by black leads. What?
Yeah, but
more like a superhero movie. I see what you mean.
Yeah, like a giant blockbuster, and also this is like an entirely African. Like people were saying, oh, Captain America is gonna be like a main side character in it, but he's not at all. I think he might be in it, but he's not at all in the poster or the trailers or anything. So I hope it does well.
Is he in like the IMDb cast?
No, but like because at the end, spoilers, at the end of Civil War and the end credit scene, he's like in Wakanda with Black Panther.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. Well, but I hope it does well because it looks amazing, and also I love the director, and I hope if this does well, he gets to do more things. So, yeah.
So go Black Panda.
Now for real quick Tom Cnews.
Oh.
The segment where we talk about the Tom Cruise of the week.
The Tom Cruise of the week. The weekly Tom Cruise.
The weekly Tom Cruise news. He wasn't up to much, so we just saw the headline: Tom Cruise's seemingly impossible mission, reviving his fizzled career. I have nothing to say except I hope Tom Cruise saw that and went crazy over it.
Crazy with joy. They still remember his name. No, but
his career seems fine, by the way.
It's taken a dip.
It
isn't a big dip.
American Made was great, but it didn't do amazing at the box office. The Mummy was horrible, and Jack Reacher 2 was an abomination of mankind.
What did he do before that?
Mission Impossible 5.
Which was
great. And
okay.
Edge of Tomorrow, which was great. And he's doing another Mission Impossible. I think his career's fine. I think Tom Cruise will always get work.
Who wrote this article?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. Okay, so because this is the 10th episode, and it's supposed to be super special, and, I mean, it hasn't felt like it so far, really. It's felt like a very standard episode. However, I did an epic Twitter thing.
An epic Twitter thing.
I asked people on Twitter, hey, what do you want to hear us talk about in the 10th episode? So we got some suggestions here. Don't look at them.
Oh.
But I will just read them off to you.
I won't look.
So, Axel suggested we talk about the Venom movie, which we will, definitely, but I think we should just wait until we get although actually that started production. We didn't talk about that. Anyway, yeah. We will, but I think just closer to when the actual movie comes out. Kaki Raki said talk about the most anticipated films of 2018, which we definitely will, but we're just gonna wait until December to do that. Cinema Geek, cool guy on Twitter who you should follow him on Twitter.
Is he the same guy on Instagram that I had a chat with?
No, that's Teen Movie Geek.
There's so many geeks out there.
Cinema Geek, who is a great guy on Twitter. You should definitely follow him. He said, worst movies you've ever seen, which we will 100% do, but
just not right now.
Well, I just think we need more time to prepare.
We need to mentally prepare ourselves.
Yeah, but yeah, that could maybe be like 20th episode or something. Something special. Because that's a big one. Mm-hmm. Best of Johnny Depp from Ben, which we will never do.
Which we will do.
Because I hate Johnny Depp.
Ben, that's awesome.
This would be 100th episode. Best of Johnny Depp.
That would be amazing.
Just me making fun of Johnny Depp for an hour. And me screaming in rage.
And me desperately defending him.
Finally, Kieran said best of Brenton Thwaites. Which I honestly think we should do for the 100th episode or something. Because he's only made 4 movies. So we could definitely get through it.
That'd be awesome.
Alright, but...
We talk 20 minutes about the Blue Lagoon. He was in Maleficent.
Oh yeah, he was. I forgot about that. He has such a weird bowl cut. Anyway, but this week we decided to do actually Teen Movie Geek suggested because
Teen Movie Geek. I knew that guy had something.
guilty pleasure movies. So basically, if you don't know what this is, guilty pleasures are movies that, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, that you enjoy but you kind of feel like you shouldn't. Like, I mean, I think most people know what a guilty pleasure is, but it's kind of something you'd be embarrassed to let people know that you enjoy. So I've come up with a massive list of mine because I have way too many, but I think we'll get through all of them. And you have six or so?
I've got 6 or so, yeah.
All right. Let me just scroll down. Some of these we're gonna some of them you can see I have a question mark next to because I'm not sure if it's like My Cousin Vinny is not a guilty pleasure. I just wanted to talk about it because like people
Every time
like
you say My Cousin Vinny, I always think that you actually have a cousin called Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny is a movie that I watched a lot growing up and that I still watch. It's a like 90s lawyer comedy with what's his name, Joe Pesci. It's hilarious. It's one of my favorite movies. It's not a guilty pleasure though, because like people actually like it. So just saying, My Cousin Vinny is awesome. Let's see. Okay, Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2 and 3. Now I hate the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie.
What?
I saw it in the
really
cinema.
Good.
And I was like 8 years old. I don't remember when it came out, but I was like, that was awful.
But that was too childish for an 8-year-old me.
However, Roderick rules.
Roderick rules. Is so
2 and 3 I saw in the cinema as well, or did I? I don't know. I saw them at some point, and for whatever reason, I really liked them. I don't know why. Well, I saw them with my family, and we kind of just. I was a lot younger, and it was just it was a fun time. Like also, I completely non-guiltily, I love the dad in those movies, Steve Zahn.
Yeah,
who's a really funny comedian just in general. He's great. I don't know. I recognize that they are bad movies. They're not great movies, and the humor's quite like cheap and
quite stale.
It's quite like child aimed, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for them. We'll be saying this a lot about a lot of them, but especially the second one. What happens in the third one? They go to the pool.
Yeah.
And they go to the.
And he becomes pretty close with what's her face?
Holly
Hill.
Yeah.
Holly Hill.
Oh yeah, and he goes camping and he has pizza with his dad, and I really like that. Like and at the end of the third one, Roderick, spoilers I guess, Roderick does like a performance at this girl's Sweet 16. I don't know. I saw it back when I was like 10 years old in 2012, I think, and I had a good fun time with it, so it has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I've watched the third one once, I think, the first one twice, and I've watched Roderick Rules maybe 20 times. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding, because it's like
back to back.
Marathoning it. It was like one of the only ones I had on my... No, but like it's the only thing I had on my iPad. I was like, why not?
Why not go 20 times? No, yeah, I've seen it way more times than any human ever should. Then there's National Treasure 1 and 2, which a lot of people actually do enjoy, but it's just like, it's a... here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, you'll see I have in parentheses in my notes, always on TV in America, and next to a few of these, so I'll just bring this up. You've never been to... Yeah, you have been to America, but...
Twice.
But
actually,
like...
3 times.
For the listeners in America, you'll know that, like, if you turn on TNT or, ABC or one of those, a lot of the time they have, like, the same movies on quite a few times, and I don't know if this is just me, but where I live, in the summer and the winter when I go to America, National Treasure 1 and 2 are literally always on, like, you cannot turn on the TV and not see Nicolas Cage. It's kind of creepy. But
just the background.
But, have you seen these?
No, I have not.
I love them. I've seen them so many. I've seen 1 and 2, probably 2 more times, but I've seen them like 10 times each. Like,
Jesus.
It's first one, Nicolas Cage steals the Declaration of Independence and then finds a hidden treasure. Second one, Nicolas Cage steals the president and finds a hidden treasure. It's very good. It's so like simple and easy to follow and kind of dumb. It's like a less explosive Michael Bay movie because it's made by one of his friends, Jerry Bruckheimer, I think. But like it's not as stupid and overexposed or whatever as every Michael Bay movie, but it's a step below that. Like it still has kind of dumb comedy, and Nicolas Cage is he has a goofy best friend who's called Riley, I think, who I love, and it's great. I love them so much. I love a good mystery, and when I was a kid, I would always write little books about someone finding a clue and then finding a treasure. and I don't remember seeing it when I was a kid, but I assume that was influenced somehow by National Treasure.
By Nicolas Cage.
By Nicolas Cage. Yeah, so I totally love those movies. Definitely.
All right. Let me hit you with something that I used to. So my sister was very much in the Barbie genre.
See, we're gonna have your sister in quotes here.
My
Your
sister.
sister
No,
loved Barbie.
just. Well, I'm gonna embarrass myself here. Don't worry. So sometimes I'd be forced, right, to sit down and watch some Barbie movies.
Strap you to the chair.
Some Barbie movies with her. I was like, okay.
Oh
But
yeah,
then-
this is
but-
actually for me too.
But then at times
I kind of like them.
there'd be a good Barbie movie, and then sometimes you'd stay home from Barnehale,
That's
and you-
for
and-
our non-Danish listeners. That's like preschool.
and you'd watch some Barbie movies,
I-
and your dad wouldn't be happy about it.
Dad would try to smack some sense into you.
But
Dad would
just
try to
smack
throw
some more
football to
Barbie.
you.
But like, it's just like it's pretty chill. But then,
How about, have you seen like the? Why is this turned into the Barbie podcast? What is it called? Like the fairy tale ones, like where it's a
I
princess.
think they're all fairy tale.
Yeah, but like, they're what's it like the Nutcracker one?
I have seen the Nutcracker one.
The Nutcracker. Like the Nutcracker, and there's one with a dragon. Like those, you can find them on YouTube.
Have you seen the
now,
one with
probably.
the Pegasus?
Yes.
Have you seen the one with the Musketeers?
Probably.
Where it's like she goes to Paris and then she.
No, I have not seen that.
That's a really good one.
But I did grow up watching some. We had them on VHS tape, and yeah, those were pretty good.
I like.
Also, speaking of Speaking of Three Musketeers, it's not a guilty pleasure, but I just want to bring it up. The Disney Three Musketeers movie is awesome. I'm just saying we need to have an episode where we talk about like nostalgia stuff. That would definitely be on there.
Yes.
Now I've gotten written here, like I was gonna say like Jack Reacher 2, Mission Impossible 2, but I think we should have an episode of more like So Bad It's Good, because those aren't really guilty pleasures. Like those, I recognize that those are terrible, and I like them because they're terrible. Like I like National Treasure because I enjoy it. I don't like it because it's so bad. But those, Mission Impossible 2, I absolutely love that movie because it's so horrendous.
It's so terrible.
So I think we should save that for that.
Yes.
Independence Day is one that I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure because I love it and some people are like, it's so dumb, it's so garbage. I think it's a classic. Yeah, there's not much to say about that though because a lot of people also love it. It's just
yeah, that is a classic.
it's a fun movie. This is a recent one. Popstar, Never Stop Never Stopping was a comedy that came out 2 years ago I think from the Lonely Island guys, who I love by the way.
What's his
Andy
face?
Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
He's hilarious. And a lot of people really didn't like this movie, and I totally loved it. Like it kind of drops off a little bit towards the end in terms of comedy, but for the first 2/3 especially, a lot of comedies, like, I'm not saying I have such hyper humor, I never laugh at anything, but like a lot of comedies you'll watch, or like like anything like a YouTube video or something, or a TV show, you'll watch and like I don't laugh out loud that much. I just kind of like chuckle.
Yeah, you're like,
I just kind of like do a little nose breathe, you know. Yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of rare for me to find a thing that like makes me laugh out loud hysterically, and this was making me laugh out. Like same with the Dave Chappelle comedy special. That's why it stood out to me because
that's what the Kevin Hart stand up did to
I
me.
haven't seen it yet, but it actually made me laugh consistently, like very loud. So that's great, and people didn't like that. So I don't really understand why people didn't like that. Like I think most people thought it was fine, but I think it was one of the best comedies of 2 years ago, I guess. Do you have one?
Yes, I do. Now, I'm not saying that this is for all the characters in this show, but just there's a few My Little Pony characters.
Oh my god.
That were very good.
I know these are guilty pleasures, but this is unacceptable.
Like Rainbow Dash.
This is too
Rainbow
guilty.
Dash, come on.
I've never seen My Little Pony.
Okay.
I've never seen anything to do with My Little Pony.
Well, Rainbow Dash is really cool. And then that one episode where she goes up and she has to like race through the clouds. And like
it's magical.
It's fuck you. Like I like Rainbow Dash. I like Spike. I think that's his name.
One of them's called Spike.
No, that's like.
Are you gonna see the movie that's coming out?
Yes, I am.
Really?
I hope so. the main I forgot what the main one is.
I think isn't the main one Rainbow Dash?
No, Rainbow Dash is like the cool kind of.
I'm sorry. Rainbow Dash is the rebel.
Is Twilight? No, I don't. The main My Little Pony.
We
right?
spent way too much time trying to figure out.
Her
what
little
the main My
sidekick
Little
called
Pony
Spike.
is.
He's pretty good, and I like the one who's like, ah.
Oh, that one.
Classic. The My Little Pony fans out there, they'll know who I'm talking about.
No,
comment in the comments below.
I'll actually block you.
No, if you've watched My Little Pony.
Well, that's Did you ever watch Strawberry Shortcake, which is kind of similar?
Okay, I feel like you have.
No, I have. I watched that growing up. It's good. Anyway, save
Moving
that.
on.
Save that for the nostalgia episode.
I have a quick one, because I don't remember the name of this one.
Fine.
But this is definitely, like, genuinely something you guys in the comments can help me out with.
Like that Mel Gibson movie that you made up, that one episode that does not exist.
I did not make it
sorry,
up.
Jim Carrey movie.
Hey.
You said there was a Jim Carrey movie where he kills himself.
No, he doesn't kill himself. he
just
just
stir in the oven or something.
No, he drops the freaking hairdryer in the oven, into the bathtub, and then he can hear what women think.
I think you're thinking of the Mel Gibson movie What Women Want. Having never seen it and not knowing what it's about, though, I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyways, this new movie, right? Not new movie, but like the movie I'm talking about now, a cartoon about it. It stars, the main character is a donkey. It's a donkey, and it's a donkey,
God.
and I just know, like, it's from no famous studio or anything.
A donkey main character. Can you give him anything else to work with?
I don't think so. I don't remember it. I just remember that I knew it was a horrible, horrible movie, right? But I kind of liked it. It was a cozy little thing.
It was a good little meme.
Good one-off meme, which I watched like way too many times. So yeah.
But somehow you don't know what it was about.
I don't remember.
Was it a Christianity story? Because I feel like it was a Christianity story.
It was not a Christianity. It was definitely not.
It was a Hindu story. Now, the next one is just like a giant collection, but a lot of bad modern comedies that like you can find on Netflix or HBO or like something I just throw them on in the background while I'm doing something else, and again, these are not like Popstar or anything. I do not laugh out loud or anything. It's a weird thing where when I'm working, like when I'm editing a video, I can't edit without having something in the background. It's a weird thing. Like I always have a YouTube video playing in the background, and so sometimes when I'm working or if I'm just really bored, I'll throw on like I've got like a few examples here, like the movie Sex Tape
with the like kind of like Groundhog
Jason
Day.
Segel. No. It's where they make a sex tape.
Oh no, and Cameron
Diaz, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a horrible movie.
Naked.
Yeah, you are, which I actually am planning to watch and putting in this category. Like A Million Ways to Die in the West, Ted 2, Vacation less so. I think that's a little bit of a step above the others, but like they're bad comedies. But I enjoy just having like they only make me chuckle like occasionally maybe, but I don't know because they're so unlike something like Game of Thrones or like something like really serious and intense that you really get into. It's I think it's the complete opposite of that, both in terms of quality, but also like you do not get at all invested. Like it's just a thing to throw on that you don't have to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just enjoy that. Pitch Perfect. I don't know if that people like that. That's not a guilty pleasure.
No, it's not.
It's a good movie. Although I hate the sequel. But that's a story for another day.
Okay. Listen up here.
All right, I'm listening.
I just had one and I just forgot it. It'll come back to me.
I'm done listening.
No. I'll just say when it'll come back to me. I really liked Catwoman.
Oh my god.
But then
Catwoman is actually maybe the worst film I've ever seen.
Like, but then I buckled. This is the okay. I'll put
you
these
buckled under the pressure.
I'll put these two in the same category. Catwoman and Jack and Jill. Like when I first saw it, I genuinely kind of liked it because like
Jack and Jill is the worst thing. Probably I've never seen it, but I imagine it's the worst thing.
Like it was fun. It was funny, right? It was Adam Sandler
playing two characters. How great is that? But like, can I just say, our two friends Anna and Yana, who I'm not gonna say they have bad taste in movies, but they have a different taste in film. Like they like those kinds of comedies, right? Like Adam Sandler comedies. They'll love that. They watched Jack and Jill and they hated it. They thought it was the least funny thing ever, and they love Adam Sandler and that kind of stuff.
It's got Dunkachino.
I mean,
I would say Al Pacino, but
it
no,
doesn't.
But it's Dunk.
All right, that's fair. Also, I want to say, for the record, Yana, I don't know if Yana loves Adam Sandler. I just know Anna quite likes Adam Sandler, so I don't want to throw Yana under the bus. But that looks like such a... I've seen so many clips from it. I've seen the Dunkachino clip. That is clearly the highlight of that film.
It's like a cappuccino.
Dunk.
It's like a cappuccino. Hey, Al Pacino. His name's not Al Pacino. It's Dunk. Everybody wants my Dunkachino. It's
we're
really
gonna get
good.
sued for singing that.
It's
probably.
it's really good. Okay, so it's not really good. I used to think it's really good, but I buckled under the peer pressure.
Well, Catwoman I can say is terrible, and Jack and Jill I've not
Catwoman
seen.
I've watched mainly because I was a horny small boy.
It's
I
such
found it
garbage.
pretty good. I liked it because it had. See, that was also a big step up for women in the superhero genre.
That was a fall down the stairs for women in the superhero genre. The Despicable Me movies, again, I don't know if they're... Well, I'd say these are more so guilty pleasure just because, like people do like them. And by the way, I do not like Minions. And I haven't seen 3, so I'm talking about 1 and 2. I watched 1 and, especially 1. That's one of, my kind of childhood movies. I saw it when I would have been 8 when it came out. And I love it. And I've seen it a lot. 2 is not as good. It's fine. But especially 1, when you compare it to Pixar movies, it's not as good. It's more in line with kind of a good DreamWorks movie. I don't know. I love it. It's one of my favorite animated films. Just and this is one of the ones where people do like it, but I feel a little embarrassed when I say oh yeah, Despicable Me is one of my favorite animated films because
but it's good.
Yeah, it's nowhere near The Incredibles or anything like that, but I kind of have a place for it not that high, but somewhere close to that just because I've seen it so many times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one's fine. I have the Percy Jackson movies here with a question mark next to it because I don't really know. No, I don't really know if I like them because the first,
I've got such conflicting emotions.
They're bad, and I saw that. It's just maybe it's because I love the books so much. Those are some of my favorite, maybe my favorite book series. No, that's Harry Potter. But one of my favorite book series of all time is Percy Jackson. If you're 10 to 15 and you're getting into reading actual books, Percy Jackson is the perfect book series. It's great. And the first one, I remember quite enjoying because we watched it in class. Oh, you weren't there. We watched it in class when I was 11. And the second one we went to see as a class. Teachers loved the Percy Jackson movies apparently. And I've never seen it since, but I remember enjoying it. But then again,
it's Percy.
Well, I've seen some clips since then. I've seen CinemaSins videos on it, and I'm like, I didn't like this. In the second one, there's a Cyclops, and then he gets a spray and he gets 2 eyes, and the satyr, the centaur. No, he's not a centaur. He's a satyr character. He's
what's a satyr?
He's half goat, half man, and he's extreme makeover, woo woo, and it's
Oh my
awful.
God.
It's very very bad. So I do not know if I like those films.
Oh God. All right.
I've put Don John here, by the way. I'll just say this. Which
go on. That's not. But
it's just one I'm.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. I don't know if I would say. Well, I was I feel like.
But you feel kind of guilty for liking it.
Well, it's I feel like people judge me when I say oh yeah, Don John's a great film. However, I did do a little research and I found Chris Stuckman's review, and he very proudly gave it an A+. So I feel I shouldn't be ashamed of.
No regrets. He sat there with that classic smile of his, just.
We watched that together.
Yes, we did.
That's awkward. It's the weirdest movie watching session.
All right, I got one.
Go on.
All right.
Let's get off Don John.
Friends with Benefits. With Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake.
That on iTunes.
I really like it. I know it's, but it's one, uber sexy, right?
Yes.
Go on. It doesn't get better than that, anyways. And it's also, it's.
I'm just gonna leave the room. Are you talking to the mic?
You just know it's a bad movie when it's got Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis, right? But I still enjoy it.
Is it Timberlake? I thought it was Kutcher.
Did you just say it's Kutcher? No, Kutcher's in the other one that's called No Strings Attached.
Oh, sorry.
Trust me, I know.
I have one of those movies on iTunes because I got this 10 movie bundle for $10 when it was some anniversary or something, and it's just been sitting there for a year, and I'm I should watch it.
I think it's actually Anne Hathaway who's in that one. No
Strings Attached.
Yeah.
Well, the one I have is definitely with Mila Kunis.
Oh, well then you have Friends with Benefits.
Okay, yeah. The Madagascar films, a lot of animated movies here. They're good. Well, they're not good.
Guilty pleasures? Pleasures? They're amazing. What do you mean?
Yeah, I think some of this, CinemaSins, the Everything Wrong with People.
Okay.
That, not just that specifically, but that kind of culture when you watch videos taking apart these movies, it does kind of make you realize, this is kind of a little bit. Some of these jokes are a little lowest common denominator, hey, it's just a reference to a thing, But Madagascar is one of the movies I saw growing up. Again, this is probably more for nostalgia, so
yeah,
let's just skip that. Here's one that I shouldn't. This is not a guilty pleasure because people do like it, but I just feel kind of embarrassed when I say that I really like it. The new Winnie the Pooh movie, actually really good. And the reason I love it so much, it's not the Heffalump movie. There was another one after that.
I love the Heffalump movie.
I did not like that. That scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
It also scared me, but I loved it.
But there was a new one that came out in 2011, I think, and I watched it.
What's
basically,
it
well, I'll get to it in a second. I just want to say, when I go to America, it's a 9-hour flight, right? 9-hour flight there, 9-hour flight back, and I must have watched that movie at least 5 times each way. Like, I watched it like back to back. It's actually insane. I do not know how I did it. I think I went like kind of crazy, but I don't know. I love it for that reason. I can't even remember what it's about. I remember Winnie the Pooh has a weird like honey dream at one point. Well, he does that in all of them, but like, and I don't know. I think it's like the search for. I think Christopher Robin goes missing, and they go looking for him, and it turns out he was just like in his backyard the whole time. I mean, I don't know.
Who is Christopher Robin?
He's the boy.
Oh, I hate the boy.
He's barely.
The boy
in
is
it.
so useless.
But I really, really liked it. And
it turns out he's in his backyard.
Yeah, something like that. And like it breaks the fourth wall a lot. Like Winnie the Pooh starts like crawling around the text. It's really, I think it's like a very creative way to use that. Plus, Winnie the Pooh is like one of my favorite things ever. No, it's like one of my favorite like childhood things.
Oh.
Yeah, shoe toys. Yeah. Okay. Do you have one to put in here?
Yes, I do.
Ooh.
Are you familiar with a certain Vincent Ronathan?
What?
A certain Vince Vaughn?
Vincent Ronathan? What did you call it?
Vincent Ronathan. Anything. Anyway.
Anything Vince Vaughn touches turns to gold. Yes, I am, of course, familiar with a Vincent Ronathan.
Are you ready to hear? I'm not embarrassed that I like this, but like
it's just Vince Ronathan.
But like I imagine it's got reviews. Couples Retreat.
Yeah, that probably has terrible reviews.
I really like Couples Retreat.
I don't know. I've never
It's
seen
got
it.
a lot of like
I've barely
big
read it.
actors. Physical big actors.
Vince Vaughn's big fat head.
It's got quite a lot of people. It's got
Actually, I think that has good reviews, maybe.
Does it?
I don't know. I'm not going to check. Why would I?
Yeah, but I like it. It's
Well, on this Vince Vaughn topic, can I just say, you referenced the movie The Internship a surprising amount.
Damn it! That was going on right.
Okay, good, because I was about to say,
Well,
if you're not saying this is a guilty pleasure.
Well, I'll put it in now as well. Now that we're on the topic of Vince Vaughn, Vincent Ronathan.
It doesn't
God,
make sense.
The Internship is so good.
I've never seen it. I heard it's terrible.
It's really good.
Have you seen the Vince Vaughn interview with the guy from Screen Junkies, Hal Rudnick, where they're like, oh, the internship's about Google, so let's have Vince Vaughn Google himself, but they didn't really do a check, so like, it's like, why did Vince Vaughn break up with Jennifer Aniston? And Vince Vaughn just sitting there staring at him dead-eyed. It's very good. You should check it out sometime.
No, but like The Internship, what could go wrong
With Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson and freaking Vince Vaughn team up.
I mean,
And like it's actually a very sweet movie. They start out as watch salesmen,
wow.
but then the watches are like no.
The watches say no?
Okay, so the watches don't say no, but their company go like, nah, bro. So then they intern for Google, right? And everyone thinks they're like, so not everyone, but in the beginning, people think.
Let's not go through the whole plot of the internship.
We have to, otherwise you won't understand.
No, just okay. Just tell me
So-
why you like it. Fine, fair point. That's fine. Give me a 1-sentence review that's 7 words.
Okay.
Give me a haiku review of The Internship.
The Internship is a good movie.
The Internship is a good movie. That's it. It's the whole haiku. Alright,
'Cause
fine.
Vince
Vince Vaughn.
and
And you have 4 left.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. Okay, fine. I don't even know if that made sense. I just counted that on my finger.
No, but then like
Okay,
no, and there's an Asian kid. No, there's an Asian kid who picks his eyebrows.
Okay, that's. I'm glad you added that in there. Bedtime Stories. Now this is time.
Bedtime Stories.
It's time for my Adam Sandler confession. This is the only Adam Sandler movie I saw growing up, so I quite like it, even though I watched it recently and it is garbage. Russell Crowe? Russell Brand, even better, is in it. He's in it.
He's Russell Brand.
There's a guinea pig who has giant eyes. And basically, the plot is Adam Sandler reads bedtime stories to these kids, and then they come like
they become. That's not good. That's that's such an Adam Sandler thing to do.
I'm so sorry. This is horribly inappropriate.
And what does Sandler do?
Stop it. I apologize to everyone. We're supposed to be a family-friendly brand. This is not... I'm sorry.
A family-friendly Russell Brand.
He reads the bedtime stories, and the bedtime stories come true. So, he's like, some candy rained down on my face.
This is clearly not working out for you.
And then some candy rains down on him. And then, like, he reads a story about being in a Western... It's basically just Adam Sandler reenacting, like, different weird movie scenarios.
It's kind of like, what's it called? The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I've never seen that. Although I actually
with Ben Stiller?
Yeah, I know who's in it.
Orno was up. Says so he believes, imagines something.
Yeah, I really want to see it, but
it's really good.
Well, I'm sure it's better than
twice.
Bedtime Stories.
I'm sure it is.
So yeah, I really liked that movie growing up, but watching it now, it is not good. Let's see. Monsters vs. Aliens, we can skip. People like that. Okay, this is one time where I want a little help in the comments.
What the hell? That one karate lava movie with the white guy. Okay.
So
you got some explaining to do.
There's this one movie that my dad made me watch when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved because. Okay, so there's this Shia LaBeouf looking pasty, like skinny white guy, like your typical late 2000s teen 20s movie star, right? Like a Shia LaBeouf type. He's not Shia LaBeouf, but he's a Shia LaBeouf type. Okay. That's what it says on the poster. He's Shia LaBeouf. He's not Shia LaBeouf, but he's a Shia LaBeouf type. And so he goes into this like house of this old Asian man, I think, and then he falls off the roof, and then he ends up in like ancient China or something. Again, I've not seen this in many, many, many years, but he ends up in like ancient China or something, and there's this bad guy who wants to destroy the world, and then I think he meets Jackie Chan or some other Asian guy, but I'm pretty sure it's Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan or some other Asian guy.
Probably. And then he trains with them to fight this bad guy, and in the finale they're like in a temple with lava and they're kicking people, and it's quite violent. Like I think it's rated R. I remember there was blood. It was like the first movie I saw where there was blood in it. And I think they turned the bad guy to stone at the end. I don't know. If someone can find that movie, please do. Pasty Shia LaBeouf-esque man meets possibly Jackie Chan in ancient China.
Jackie Chan.
And people turn to stone or something. I don't know. I just remember liking that. Let's see. We spent way too much time on that. Narnia are some other movies that are always on TV in America.
Narnia, great.
Well, the third one especially.
Is that the one with Captain Eyebrows?
Yes, it is. And I like it. It has some dumb moments in it though.
Aslan's not in
it. That's a shame. Night at the Museum 1 and 2. 3 is not great.
I didn't even know 3 was out.
But 1 and 2, I love. Especially 2 actually, which is weird. 2 has Amy Adams in it as
Is she the one who was in? I don't know. What was she in?
Arrival.
I was gonna say, but I was like, that's not Amy yet.
Enchanted.
So good.
Yeah, I think they're funny. I absolutely love the premise of like, this stuff comes to life at night. As a kid, I used to think like all the time when I went into like a mall or a museum or a theme park or something, like, which they should set a Night at the Museum movie here.
You just wanted some guy to come by.
Yeah, probably. Just wanted Ben Stiller to show up. They're very fun kids movies. I definitely think you should. Mr. Robot's in them, as a mummy or something.
Mr. Robot?
The guy on the show, Mr. Robot. You don't know it? Okay, never mind. What's his name?
I really like
Robin Williams. Yeah, he's great as Theodore Roosevelt. It's very, very fun.
And
kids
Owen
movie.
Wilson.
Oh yeah, Owen Wilson's in it. And the Roman guy who's great. He's a very famous, funny British guy. He's in Hot Fuzz. What's his name? I can't remember. That's great. So 1 and 2, very, very fun. And Hank Azaria's in him, who's like he's the bad guy in the second one. He's a very He's like a funny comedian. Does a lot of the voices on The Simpsons. He's great. It's very funny movies. that maybe aren't necessarily, Oscar winners, but they're fun.
But they're Oscar winners in my heart.
Okay, I'm just gonna burn through like
Okay,
these two real quick. Enchanted, I would say, because I love it, but people love that movie, so it's another one that's always on TV. And Sky High is a movie that I really loved growing up. I watched it recently. It's not good. It's good, but it's definitely not as good as I remembered. I think we talked about it actually when we returned from summer. It's definitely not as good as I remembered. People do like it. I think it's good, but I think it's much better for kids than it is watching it because the CGI doesn't hold up. Yeah, but it's still fun. There's another that's a good example of a pasty Shia LaBeouf-esque late 2000s kind of star. That guy in it. He's not Shia LaBeouf, but he looks kind of like him. Anyway, you have one. Go on.
Grown Ups 2?
God damn it.
I like Grown Ups 2 better than I like Grown Ups 1.
Controversial opinion.
Such a feel-good movie. Like, there's legit...
I haven't seen it.
There's legit no
consequences.
Nothing bad can happen in it.
It sounds like every Adam Sandler movie. He wants to go on vacation with his friends.
But the thing is, this vacation, hear this, takes place in his hometown.
Oh, God.
Isn't that amazing? And
wait,
there's...
in Adam Sandler's hometown and the character's hometown?
The character's hometown.
I bet it's actually Adam Sandler's hometown.
Probably. And it's got Chris Rock.
Yeah, he's
Amazing.
funny, but not in that. Rob Schneider is in it, probably.
Yes, he is.
Oh, it's not Owen Wilson. It's David Spade. God
I love David Spade.
and there's one other guy, the fat Kevin James. God damn it.
Oh, so you know the kid from Vikings who plays Bjorn?
I've never seen Vikings, so
No,
why
but
would I know him?
He's also in Hunger Games.
Oh, him.
Did-
Bjorn. No,
Oh, well, he's
Who
David.
is he in Hunger
He's
Games?
David Spade's son.
In Hunger. Oh,
In Hunger Games.
I was like, David Spade was in
David-
Hunger Games. That would have been amazing.
David Spade running around.
Getting stabbed. Well, no, okay, sure. Taylor Lautner's in it, inexplicably, I think.
Salma Hayek's in it
Really?
as Adam Sandler's wife.
Oh my God.
And
Stop it, Adam.
it's really good.
Well, can I say, I think Adam Sandler is like the unfunny Seth Rogen. Like Seth Rogen is the better version of Adam Sandler.
No. Seth Rogen's the high version of Adam Sandler.
Because like Seth
Nothing
Rogen
gets
is
better
actually
than
funny.
Adam Sandler.
True.
Quote me. Apart from Thwaites.
True. I'm gonna just burn through a series of unfortunate events. That movie with Jim Carrey, love it, and I think people actually like it, so I'm not gonna include it here. Freaky Friday, not the really old one from like the 60s or 70s, whenever that came out, but the new one with Lindsay Lohan from like 2005 or something.
Oh yeah, and that
Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yeah.
short-haired woman.
that's pretty good.
That's like one of my sister's favorite movies, so I watched it a ton growing up, and yeah, I really like it. Again, more nostalgia stuff. And Rush Hour, which I think people like. I love it. Like it's like Independence Day. We're like, I think it's like a kind of classic, but some people are like, oh, it's so bad, it's so dumb. Directed by Brett Ratner, inexplicably, who is like the worst person in Hollywood.
The
apparently.
rattiest man.
The rat. But I love it. Now the two that are actually the two last ones I have here. First of all, Kronk's New Groove, the direct-to-DVD sequel to The Emperor's New Groove, which is one of my favorite movies. The Emperor's New Groove is like one of the funniest Disney movies easily. And so then they made
It's
in my opinion, I think it's one of the best animated films. And then they made, so you remember Kronk?
yeah.
Well, now he has his own kind of adventure.
That sounds like the Joey spinoff.
I haven't seen, I don't know much about that. But
Either.
but it's bad. And so it's like Kronk,
It's Kronk. But get this, it's like Kronk.
Yzma's like half cat, and then Kronk like revisits a story of when he almost fell in love with this like scout woman. And the thing is, I love this more out of necessity than anything else because we didn't have The Emperor's New Groove growing up, but I did have Kronk's New Groove on VHS. Somehow.
So you got addicted to Kronk's New Groove instead of the Emperor's New Groove.
So watching them recently, Emperor's New Groove is way above Kronk's New Groove, but I watched it I don't know how many times growing up, and I still love it to this day. There's a part where Kronk falls off a cliff, and I remember laughing hysterically as a child. And now watching it now, it's probably not that funny, but
Kronk does a pratfall.
Yeah, he does. He does so many pratfalls. as I grew up though, I started to like it less and less, especially when I got to see The Emperor's New Groove more, because I was like, oh, this is not as good.
This
like,
is just bad.
Like, and there's a part where like he teaches this little kid to cheat, like in a competition, not on a woman, and it's like that made me feel like, this is unpleasant to watch as a kid, and it's just, I don't know. I still, and Cusco, spoiler alert, if you care, makes a brief cameo at the end, which I thought was like super awesome as a kid.
Cusco's like a llama, isn't he?
Yeah, but he turns back to human in the end. So, and like Pacha comes in at the end. There's his dad. That's the whole point of it. Like he wants his dad's approval. He wants, quote, the thumbs up from Pappy. I think that's like the main part of the film. He wants Pappy to approve of him.
Oh my god.
And hijinks ensue. Great movie. Watch it. 10 out of 10. And finally, probably the guiltiest pleasure of mine, which is barely a pleasure and is mostly guilty, but The Cat in the Hat from 2003 is one of the
live action one?
Yeah, it's one of the worst films ever made, and I love it. It's one of the films I had it on DVD with A Series of Unfortunate Events. It was one of those really bundle creepy DVDs. It's such a weird movie. So Mike Myers is the Cat in the Hat in a really weird live action suit, it looks terrifying, and then the world is so weird, and like it's supposed to be like Dr. Seuss-ish, like where everything is weird and colorful and weird shapes. That works perfectly in like animated and drawings. In live action, it's so like unpleasant to look at. Like everything is like orange or purple, and then the kids are horrible brats. The mom is a like really unpleasant person. The Cat in the Hat is terrifying. There are so many weird sex jokes in it. Like
what?
At one point, the Cat in the Hat, this is a great part. And I didn't get any of these when I was growing up, but seeing it now, he picks up a picture of their mom, and he's like, and who is this? And his hat goes like boing, like that. And they're like, that's my mom. And he's like, oh. And then the hat goes like down.
Oh my god.
It's so, and like there's a part where he's like 2 coconuts on his chest, and it's so strange. And then in the end, they go into like, you really do some drugs, and then put on the Cat in the Hat. Alec Baldwin is in it, inexplicably.
What? I love Alec Baldwin.
But he's the deadbeat, like, creepy dad, I think. And he's disgusting and fat. And there's a part where...
So just Alec Baldwin.
There's a part where the Cat in that... This is me listing things that happen in the Cat in that movie, but that should be enough. There's a weird, racist Asian stereotype as the babysitter. Again, I have talked about why this is terrible. I like it. Again, all these I like pretty much because I grew up watching them, but... this is one of the movies one of the few I had on DVD, and so I watched it a ton. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, when the Cat in the Hat put 2 coconuts on his chest, I thought it was funny when I was growing up. But watching it now, I can't say I can say, oh, this is terrible, but I can't help but kind of I remember that. Yeah. Like when they're jumping around on the couches, and it's so strange. And there's a great joke in it where he steps on a rake or something. Classic gag, right? And then it hits him in the face. But then the best part is he looks at it. Or I won't spoil the joke. It's a gardening tool, and he says, "Dirty hoe," to the hoe. It's brilliant. Oh god. And sorry, I gotta keep listing things. There's a scene where, through some amazing Adam Sandler-esque hijinks, he somehow gets put onto a piñata thing. And then the little kid hits him in the balls, and he has a dream about swinging on a swing with a pony or something while he's getting hit in the balls. It's so absurd.
Okay.
You need to watch this.
Okay. I promise you I'm going to watch this soon.
The thing is, I love watching it also now because I'm like, how did this get made? Like, what studio executive
what are you doing?
Checked off, okay, Cat in Hat gets hit in the balls, dreams of unicorns. Check. Let's make it happen.
Makes mom sex jokes.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that movie, even though it is one of the most horrendous things ever created. Thank you, Mike Myers, for so many great hours of my childhood. Can you please watch The Cat in the Hat for next week and tell me? We should watch it together, actually.
Oh, God, no.
That'd be the second weirdest movie watching experience after Don John. Okay, so...
Now just a few
I think that is... Yeah, I think that's all we have for the topic this week. I hope you enjoyed this. Do you have any more guilty pleasures? I don't
think I do.
So yeah, Jesus, that was intense. That really ramped up at the end. Now at the end here, we just have a few announcements. First of all, and comments and such things. Firstly, also don't look at this. All right?
Okay.
Because there's some surprises.
Okay.
I finally set up a business email for my channel and also the podcast. If you want to send something our way through the podcast, It's mainly for my channel, though. bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
But if you want to send some fan art to me, just
Don't
go
send it
right
to
ahead.
him. Oh, who sent you the Thwaites fan art? We need to mention that.
Oh, it's the same guy who sent you some fan art.
Is it Teen Movie Geek?
I'm not sure.
Wait, get your phone over here.
All right. Thank you to Kieran M. Bennett,
Who sent some wonderful Thwaites fan art, by the way. So we just want to say that real quick.
that
That's
was
awesome. Thank you. Anyway, the email. Did I say bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com?
You did.
Okay, yeah. So any business inquiries? Already gotten my first business inquiry.
Oh,
Pretty dope.
oh.
I don't want to say who
BHL
it is that, even though, because I might not take it.
Yeah.
But
Because you got tons of offers.
right. So if you want to send something our way, that's the email to do it with. Also, thank you to our friend Anna, who designed this logo, which you are seeing on the screen right now, which, if I can get it scanned and all that, I will probably use as the channel logo. It's awesome. She put a lot of work into it, so thank you,
very
Anna.
much.
Very talented. Thank you, Yana, for the mic stand. I
Our
haven't listened.
entire podcast is made out of other people's.
Other people's contributions. For the record, the previous 9 episodes were done with me holding the mic in my hand, which got quite exhausting after an hour and a half. So
He's got bulging muscles in one of his hands now.
So thank you so much, Yana, for the mic stand. It helps a lot. Hopefully you can tell this episode was a little more
Professional.
we were a little more free to do what we wanted. And finally, what we said at the start, I just want to say that we are thinking of changing up the format a little bit. So last week we just did a news-centric episode only, and it was a lot of fun to do, actually. And I think people really enjoyed it. So I was thinking maybe from now on...
We sometimes do.
Yeah, sometimes we'll just do, like, especially if there's a lot of news, we'll just do the news, and then we can just kind of have a laid-back discussion about all of it. And then sometimes, if there's not a lot of news, or if there's a topic we really want to... Yeah, God, I'm really bad this week. we really want to talk about, then we'll do a topic. Also, because, there are going to be times where we have to go away for, like, summer or Christmas, and then we'll pre-record, so we won't have any news, and we'll just do a topic then.
Exactly.
So sometimes it'll be only news, sometimes...
Only topic.
Yeah.
And sometimes a
Nothing.
little bit of the mix. And sometimes we screw the podcast.
So yeah, sometimes I think quite a bit of the time maybe only news, not quite a bit, sometimes only news, because it's much more relaxing to do that, by the way. And then sometimes when we're gone, only topic. And then occasionally, maybe like we'll do like 10, 15, 20, 25, like the big ones, we'll do like a topic as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll figure it out. But if you're a fan of that idea, let us know your feedback down below if you made it to this part in the podcast, which I don't know if anyone did.
If
after
you
that
have-
cat in the hat rant.
Oh, God. I would have left after the cat in the hat rant.
But so if you have any thoughts on that, let us know. And if you have any thoughts in general, let us know down below. Or at the email if you want. So we're going to have to wrap this up a little quickly because Freddie has to go. But thank you once again for listening. We had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson. You can find me Twitter, Instagram, BHL_Hudson.
You can find me at YouTube at FDK Gaming, or you can find me on Twitter at FDK_DaltSniper, where I will continue to post regularly, which I have not done in a long time.
Really need to tweet more.
Okay, I will do.
So we will be back next week, probably with a news episode, or if nothing happens, then a topic. It'll be very nice.
It'll be very nice. Anyways.
Anyway, thank you, and you can't be too loud this time because we have
Okay,
people here.
okay.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you,
All right,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.